start with what I like to call the connected customer. Really important here that we build the story. The pace of technology, devices, applications, consumers, we know this, are more connected now than any time before. And it's changing the landscape in which we do business, conduct our business. Consumers are more connected to information about products, services, pricing. They're connected or more connected with each other, sharing their lives, experiences and social media. And importantly, consumers are connecting with brands and organisations in fundamentally different ways than 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, through websites, online, social media. What we're seeing now is multiple generations connecting to each other with a range of multiple media and devices. So let's explore what this connected consumer looks like in Australia. So we know there's more phones than population in this country. We actually crossed over that threshold in 2008. We're the second most highly penetrated mobile market in the world. Second to which market? Singapore. Today there are 29 million mobile devices, 23 million people. So that's quite interesting. What we've seen in the past few years is this dramatic shift to smartphones, with more now than half of our population carrying a smartphone device. So why is this important? Well, the smartphone provides intelligence, presence, location, and digital enablement. The smartphone changes everything. Further evidence of it, 2.7 million Aussies are now using mobile phones for social networking. So Australians sharing their lives, minute by minute, day-to-day lives, on the move, anywhere, in increasing numbers. To further validate that point, excuse me, a quite staggering statistic, 12 million Aussies on Facebook. That's half our population. And half our population in less than 8 years. And in the last year, banking on smartphones went up by 80%. We're witnessing an industry transformation. The banks and financial services companies are reshaping their business models to adapt to the opportunities and threats this present. We've got Michael Hart with us at Vision on Thursday, by the way. So Michael's going to explore that in terms of how ICT is transforming his organisation, how CBA is leading the industry in that space. We've also seen online spend for travel and accommodation reach 6 billion. Australia. So we're seeing travel businesses move quickly to adapt and new entrants start to reshape business models. This is all delivering an unprecedented choice to the connected consumer. And if you want to talk about the pace of change, let's look at what's happened in the last 5 minutes since I started this presentation. Over 240 hours of video uploaded to YouTube. 10 million Google searches, last 5 minutes. Over 170,000 likes posted on brands and organisations through Facebook. We're now seeing this redefinition of the word like and how important it is for consumers' interaction with consumers, people to people, but also people to businesses, and how important it is to be liked these days. And 500,000 tweets, and I know there's many serial tweeters here in this audience. In the last 5 minutes, almost 3,000 websites created, and over 1 billion emails were sent. And unfortunately, Optus and Singtel generates many of those emails, judging by the amount that I'm courtesy copied on anyway. Okay, let's do a quick audience survey. How many of you have used internet to book theatre tickets, cinema, concerts? Hands up. Overwhelming majority in the room. Who's on Facebook or LinkedIn? Okay, again, almost every hand in the room. Okay, keep your hands up if you're on LinkedIn right now. I want to put the lights up if you can, just so I can. Okay. Who's used TripAdvisor or a travel website? Check out reviews, destinations, hotel or restaurant. Okay, again, overwhelming response to all those questions. How many of you won't leave your home without your mobile device? Hopefully it's everybody. Yeah. Leave your hands up if you've got 2 devices. Keep your hands up if you've got 3 devices. I hope they're not official services. What about 4 devices? There's a few with 4 devices too. So, clinical psychology has classified a new type of anxiety disorder. It's called nomophobia. And the symptoms are, so just pay attention here, this may be you, sound like you're someone you know. The symptoms of nomophobia are you check your phone on average every 2.48 minutes. And the longest you've gone without checking your phone is 11 minutes. If you have one of those symptoms, you need to get yourself checked out. Okay, the point is that we're all consumers and we're all connected. I want you just to pause and think about that in the mindset as I progress through the future of business and then into our vision, into what we do for customers. So for this year's Future of Business report, we wanted to explore how the connected consumer, again, just consider the exercise we went through earlier, is reshaping the way organisations connect with their customers today and into the future. So this year, again, I believe this is the best Future of Business report we've put together. This year, we've interviewed both business and consumers. We've interviewed 550 organisations across 10 industries, including government. We talked to C-level, executives in IT, marketing, across a wide range of functions, and we also interviewed over 2,000 consumers about their preferences and expectations when they engage with businesses now and the next 3 to 5 years. And what we've been able to do is create now some more multi-dimensional observations and findings through the report. First point is we set out to understand, or try and understand, which channels businesses are using to engage with their customers. We wanted to understand where organisations are investing and what's driving these investments, and we looked at both digital channels and also traditional channels. Now, you'll see a lot of commentary in the market about the digital channels, online and social and mobile, but we wanted to make sure we had a holistic view as we were undertaking this research. And we know that key customer touch points like bricks and mortar, retail presence, contact centres are still prevalent in terms of the go-to-market for companies. And we asked consumers which channels they prefer today and how they want to be served in the future. So let's have a look at what organisations are telling us first. So this is the current view of where organisations are investing across the various customer channels. Now, importantly, we're seeing continued investment in traditional channels, bricks and mortar, retail presence, contact centre. But you can also see significant investment, of course, in emerging channels of online, social and mobile. Interesting to note that over 60% of all businesses are now investing in social. That is a big, big step change from where we were a couple of years ago. And almost half of the organisations are investing in mobile. Look what happens in 3 to 5 years. Digital channels continue their march, exponential growth. Mobile's almost doubles. That's the big mover. That's great for our business, by the way. And let's not forget the continuing importance of traditional channels. The research confirms that organisations not just are investing, but continue to invest in bricks and mortar and in contact centres. And you can see that when you're embracing the retailers. They're still trying to expand their footprint around the country and globally. The key point here is that all channels play a role today and will continue to play a role in the future. And while we're seeing investment and focus in the digital channels, many organisations are still lagging in operationalising these channels for an optimised customer experience. This is by their own admission. So there's investment in money going into the channels, but bringing it to life for a true customer experience, still not quite there. Less than 10% are saying they have their mobile channel fully operationalised, 14% have operationalised their social channel, and only a third of organisations saying their online channel is fully operational. So clearly organisations have big ambitions in this digital space, but the research confirms there's a long way to go. Again, another big opportunity for us. If we took a look at an industry perspective here, the Future of Business report confirms that channel adoption varies industry to industry. That in its own right is not surprising. Financial services and insurance leads the charge with mobile and online. Not surprisingly, manufacturing and utilities have lower adoption. And in terms of social media, we're seeing hospitality, retail and real estate lead. But finance, and most interestingly, government, for those government groups in the audience today, government will be the leaders in the next 3 to 5 years of social media, a big opportunity for us to try and embrace as we look at this citizen-centric world. Now, we've got Bill Gibson here on Thursday at Vision. He's the CIO of the Australian Tax Office, and he'll present to our customers and our partners what his view is of engagement with the citizen, particularly using digital channels, now and into the future. Clearly, there's no one industry leading in all channels. So different industries are embracing different channels and a different mix of channels. And not surprisingly, the B2C, business to consumer organisations, especially those in service-orientated sectors, are the ones that are leading in digital channel overall. Another key finding for the research is that organisations need to get smarter in how they utilise each channel depending on the function it serves. So what might be an appropriate channel for sales and marketing is quite often not the same channel or a different result for providing customer care and support. And our research reinforces this point. The other point is the channel that may be serving a function today may not be the same channel in the future. Important to note, again, for us, that mobile will be in the top 3 channels for all functions in the next 3 to 5 years. And so how will mobile support these functions? In 3 key ways: mobile apps, mobile payments, and mobile websites. You can see there over the next 3 to 5 years, mobile apps and mobile websites almost double, mobile payments almost quadruple. Big space, part of our ecosystem, which we need to ensure we're relevant. We also ask the question as to why are organisations adopting particularly digital channels. And the primary reason cited by organisations across online, mobile and social was the need to improve the customer experience. The other key one, importantly, was around building brand and this whole notion of innovation. A strong theme when we interviewed consumers was the expectation that businesses need to deliver a consistent experience no matter which channel they use. And we found that despite many companies adopting multi-channel presence, they've got bricks and mortar, they've got contact centres, they're on the move with social, mobile, online, we found that only 12% of those organisations are delivering a consistent consumer experience integrated across all the channels. Now, the challenge quite often, as we know, is the way these organisations are structured. The retail stores and or the contact centre quite often being managed by different parts of the organisation to those that are looking after their online or their mobile or now the emerging social strategy in many organisations. Now again, that is a big opportunity for us because there are serious implications when there's a huge gap between the 65% of consumers that want the integrated experience, the 12% of companies that are delivering it. And we know the bigger organisation, the harder it is to deliver. And that's where new entrants and startups can come and quickly disrupt. Another big opportunity for us. Now, what we've heard from business, we want to also hear from the consumer viewpoint, how it correlates with the business viewpoint in terms of focus, investment, where are the synergies, where's the alignment, where are the disconnects. So the first one we would say is our research finds that consumers are embracing digital channels, but they're not doing so at the rate or as quickly as organisations expect. Businesses and consumers do agree on one item, and that is that online will drive most future interaction, but the research would lead us to believe that many organisations are investing ahead of the curve, particularly in social, which is still viewed as a personal use today, shifting to business use moving forward. That's what businesses are banking on. And the other point, of course, is that businesses need to work harder to effectively demonstrate or prove to consumers the value of these emerging channels, such as social and mobile, to bridge the gap between investment and consumer uptake. Again, a huge opportunity for us. We know that when organisations can move their customers to digital channels, they reduce their cost to sell, their cost to serve, and they start to open up new markets and new opportunities. Okay, so bringing it all together, what does this all mean? What are the key takeouts? Firstly, every channel plays a role, both traditional and digital. But smart organisations understand the right channel for right function and striking the right balance between traditional and also digital channels. First big insight. It's important to note also that digital channels should enhance, not necessarily replace traditional channels. And the more intelligent organisations, the smarter organisations are starting to recognise this. Customer experience is only optimised when you can integrate your channels. That requires a breakdown of silos in organisations, an integrated channel strategy, supported by the highest levels of decision-making within any business. So let me recap as I close out on future of business. Every channel has a role to play. Customers can't ignore traditional channels. Customers need to integrate channels for a better customer experience. They need to break down the silos that may exist in their organisation. Digital channels need to enhance traditional channels, and it is about right channel, right function.